Hey everybody, my name is Lucy. If we haven't already met, I am a yoga and Pilates fusion instructor at March Wellness, and today we're going to be doing a 30-minute series that focuses on your spine. Joseph Pilates has a famous quote that says, "You are only as young as your spine is flexible." So it's a really important area to protect and to kind of nurture. With that said, I want to clarify that doesn't mean go 10 out of 10. That doesn't mean we have to do the biggest version of everything that we do. It just means taking the time to check in and to strengthen and stretch and support the area around the spine. So with that said, the only prop we're going to need today is our mat. I have mine nice and long this way. If you don't have a mat, whatever area of your floor is the most comfortable for you. I will try to give variations as we go. If at any point something is uncomfortable though, take a break. When you're ready, come back and join us. Cool. Let's get started. We're going to start lying down on our mat and hugging our knees in towards our chest. First thing I like to do is to picture my outer shoulder blades reaching down towards the mat, really broadening out your collarbone. Chest stays open. From here, my belly button's going to reach towards the spine. Your abdominal muscles are a huge support system for your spine. So I like to make sure that my belly is always engaged. That belly button should be drawing back the whole class. From here, couple circles with the knees in one direction. If you don't like taking your hands to your shins, you can always go around the hamstrings instead. And then reversing directions. Full weight of the head is released. You can always rock your chin left to right to check in on that. And from here, we'll bring our feet to the floor about hips width apart. Ideally, I could just barely graze the backs of my heels. If you can't quite reach them, no problem. I mostly want to make sure I'm not feeling my arches. If you are, just walk your feet out a bit. Arms are going to be by your side at first. Belly button's going to draw back. So again, those abdominals are supporting the front of the spine. Shoulders away from the ears. We're going to inhale here. The outsides of the hips lift up evenly. What I see a lot is we overlift here and I put pressure on my low spine. So instead of doing that, can you draw your tailbone towards the backs of your knees, lengthening out the low spine, engaging through the belly. Shoulders stay away from the ears, belly button is still drawing back. As you exhale, think of your spine as a zipper and one vertebra at a time, lower on down, trying not to skip the middle spine. Low spine doesn't touch until the middle spine's already down. Nice. Second time, we're going to inhale, lifting up. Tailbone's drawing towards those knees, bringing the glutes online. Exhale, one vertebra at a time, back down. Feel that low belly working. Inhale, third time, lifting up. Exhale, one vertebra at a time, back down. Let's find our slow one as we lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. We're going to go one more time. Same exact thing, except this time you have an option to add your arms. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, hips lift up. Arms can reach up and back overhead. Space between those shoulders and earlobes. Exhale, one vertebra at a time. Feel the low belly wake up. Lower on down. Inhale, second time lifting up. Front and back half of the body are working together. Left and right side are even. Exhale, one vertebra at a time, back down, low belly scoops. Inhale, third time lifting up. Make sure that breath is always our priority. Exhale, one vertebra at a time, back down. You can always skip the arms. Last slow one, we lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 5. Hold your body, not your breath. 2, 1. Lower 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Hug your knees in. Couple circles one way, other way. And then from here, we'll bring our arms out to the side, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to rock our knees over to our right side. I want you to see how close you can keep that left shoulder blade to the floor. So if it needs to come up a little bit, that's okay, but I want that drawing down to open the chest. To add a little more intensity, you can take your right hand to the outside of that left thigh. If that's uncomfortable for your knees at any point, you can always grab a blanket And just bring it underneath your bottom thigh or between the knees. Couple deep breaths here, breathing into your full spine from the base of your tailbone all the way up through the top of the neck. You want to complete this twist, the gaze is turning towards that left palm, and if that feels uncomfortable in your neck, focus can always stay towards the ceiling. Really allowing the floor to be a support system to hold that weight so you don't have to. And then releasing that top arm. Keep your inner thighs engaged. Inhale as you exhale, thighs keep touching. Bring the knees through center. Inhale here, exhale, slowly using those obliques. Rock the knees over to your left side. Right shoulder blade draws down towards the floor. Left hand has the option of coming to the outside of that right thigh. Maybe your gaze turns to face that right palm, both shoulders away from the ears. Even here, that belly button's drawing back. With each exhalation, instead of thinking, how do I force a bigger twist, think, how can I release into a deeper twist? It is a letting go. Gravity is doing the work here. And then releasing that top leg, inner thighs stay together. Bring your knees back to center. Hug the knees in towards your chest one more time. Belly button's going to draw back. This time tuck your chin towards your center, lifting the shoulder blades off the floor, waking up the belly as you exhale one vertebra at a time back down. Same thing again. Inhale, belly button's drawing back. Tuck the chin, lift those shoulder blades. Exhale, back down. Inhale, third time, belly button still drawing back, shoulder blades lift up. This time as you exhale, maybe your sits bones lift off the floor, maybe they don't. Inhale, lift higher, exhale, back down. Nice, one more curve of the spine. This time we can find a few spinal rolls. If we're not rolling, we can come over to one side and come up. And we'll meet at all fours. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, full palms are on the floor. As we inhale, heart reaches forward, sits bones lift up as we come into cow. Elbows are slightly bent and hugged in. Exhale, curl the spine up to cat. Inhale, heart reaches forward, sits bones lift up tall. Reminder that the neck is part of the spine. Exhale, curl up. From here, neutral spine. What I see often with neutral spines are this, where that low back still wants to drop down. So what I want you to think about is our neutral spine almost has a cat-like lower half of the body, so there's a little bit of that lift, and then I counter by a cow upper half of the body. So I have that nice long neutral spine, but my abdominals are engaged, supporting the front of the spine. Taking maybe a deep breath here, and then letting it go. Let's just try that again. So find whatever your first version of a neutral spine is. From here, feel that cat lower back, and then that cow upper body. Maybe we hang out here. Next option is to bring the left leg back. Keep that hip low so I'm not opening up that side. Maybe right arm reaches forward, shoulders away from the ears, belly supporting the spine. Exhale back through center. And then notice, can we swap without wiggling? And back to center. Knees come nice and wide, big toes touch and reach back to your child's pose just for a moment or two. And then we'll come onto our belly. First thing I'm going to have us do is bring our forearms to the floor. Shoulders are in line with the elbows. Press the shoulders away from the ears. Then we're going to use the resistance of the hands on the mat to pull the heart forward. What I see often in this position is this or this, because we again forget that the neck is part of the spine. So let's keep that same long line. One or two more breaths here. I like pressing the tops of my feet into the floor to stay slightly active through the legs. And then come on down. Hands are going to come by your side, but we are not going to use your arms for this. So if it's easier to keep your hands off the floor, if that's less tempting, go for it. But if you feel that adds tension to your shoulders or neck, you can keep them on the ground, just don't use them. Tops of the feet stay the floor. Belly button is still drawing back. Inhale, chest is going to lift. Only as far as you can go without using those arms. Exhale down. Inhale, second time lift. Exhale down. Inhale, third time lift. Exhale down. Let's find our slow one as we lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round like that. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale down. Inhale, lifting up. Back of the neck is long. Exhale down. Inhale, third time. Keep connected to that belly. Active feet. Exhale down. Slow one as we lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. We're going to add on to that a little bit. If that was already feeling like your edge though, feel free to repeat that same cycle. If we're moving on, hands are going to come down towards my chest. Then I'm going to staple my inner arms to my rib cage. So I want to make sure the elbows don't come out. Before we get started, I'm going to show you a couple things I see in this series. Often what happens is this, where we lift those shoulders up to the ears. That's adding tension to an area where I want to release. So it does not matter how high you come up, shoulders stay away from your ears and the neck stays long. So I'm not cranking it back or dropping it forward. Next thing I often see is we lift the hips off the floor. While that can do a little work for your belly, it's doing a lot less for the flexibility of your spine. So try to keep those hip points on the ground. Last thing I see sometimes is this, where we kind of cup the hand. That puts a lot of pressure on the wrist. So just make sure that full palm is on the ground. Feet stay on the ground the whole time. Let's give this a go. Again, does not matter how high you come up. As we inhale, we're going to start to peel off one vertebra at a time. Shoulders are down, back of the neck is long, hips stay on the floor. Exhale, one vertebra at a time, lower. Inhale, second time. Keep the shoulders away from the ears from the very beginning. Exhale, back down. Staple those arms to your rib cage, lifting up. So try not to chicken wing as we lift. Maybe don't go as high. Exhale, back down. Let's find our slow one as we lift up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5's halfway, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5's halfway, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. If you need to wiggle it all, let anything go, go for it. Second and last round, elbows are hugged in, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift up. Make sure those full palms are on the floor. Exhale, back down. Inhale, lifting up. Back of the neck stays long, belly button's drawing back. Feet are not lifting off the ground. Inhale, third time. Exhale, back down. Last slow one, again, doesn't matter how high you go, but I do want you to take all 10 counts. So if you're not going as high, just go a little bit slower. 5 is your personal halfway. We lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5's your halfway point, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5's halfway, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, you can clasp your hands behind your back. Maybe find a couple taps, heels to glutes, opening up the quads, and then pressing back into a child's pose once again. Deep breath. You can always exhale audibly through the mouth to find an extra release. Walking your hands over to your right side, hips stay where they are. And then through center over to your left side. And then back through center. Maybe the right arm scoops underneath the left. You can look under that left elbow or armpit, giving that bottom arm as much weight as would feel good. And then swapping sides. back up. Maybe we'll come through a downward facing dog, walking your hands at palms distance forward, curling the toes, lift up and back. Again, noticing, can we find that cat lower body, but then that cow upper body lengthening out. Softening that rib cage. Back the neck stays long. You can pedal out the feet if that would feel good, waking up the calves. And then walk your feet up towards your hands, finding a forward fold. Shake your head yes and no, keeping the weight towards the balls of your feet. Then bend your knees, we'll roll up one vertebra at a time, really feeling each vertebra stack. And facing the camera end of the room. Feet or hips width apart, knees stay slightly bent, shoulders roll up and back twice. Elbows up and out twice. Arms reach up and open. Let's clasp our hands, bring them up overhead. I'll step back so you can try to see more of my arms. You can stay on your mat. We're going to inhale, root that right heel into the floor, and then reach over to the left. So I'm going to mirror you guys. Rounding forward, opening up the back. Take your time. You stay in this side angle as you open up the chest, and then use those obliques to come back to center. Other way, root that left heel into the floor, over to the right. Chest is open. From here, rounding forward, opening up the back. Open up while you're still in this side angle, and then coming back to center. Nice. Clasp your hands behind your back. Open up the chest. Knees are slightly bent again. Forward fold. Maybe this time the hands reach up overhead. And then releasing the hands, bend your knees, roll up one vertebra at a time. Let's just find a couple rounds of that. Chin tucks rolling down. And then bending your knees to roll up. One more, chin tucks to roll down. And then bending your knees to roll up. Belly is engaged, arms reach up overhead. As you exhale, just bring the elbows out to your side, mini back bend here. I'm still drawing the tailbone slightly down though to keep that low belly activated. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, one more time. And then reach up. Nice, we're gonna keep the arms reaching up. I'm gonna face the side so you can see me, but you can keep facing forward. Find a halfway forward fold. Maybe hands come to your thighs. Same spine as before. Keep your knees as bent as you need to, where we have that cat upper or lower spine and that cow upper spine. So you have that nice long spine supported by the belly. One more time, cat lower spine, cow upper spine. Back of the neck is long. Shift your weight towards the balls of your feet so those hamstrings come online. We're going to try one time here, belly button still joined back, just to bend the knees. And then straighten out, keeping that weight towards the balls of your feet. 2 more rounds with the options to bring your arms forward. Belly has to be active here. Inhale as you bend your knees, arms reach out. Exhale, straighten once more. And plie. And straighten, forward fold. And then turning back to face the camera side of the room if you've moved. Clasp your hands to your opposite elbow, find a ragdoll pose. Shake the head yes and no. From here, we're going to start to bring the upper body towards the right leg. And then I'm going to roll up one vertebra at a time, waking up that opposite side of the body. Arms will reach up overhead. And then coming down that left side. Same thing, other way, we're going to start to come up that left side of the body. Arms reach up and over, and down that right side. Back to center. This time, we're going to find a flat back to come up. Heart's going to reach forward, arms out to your side. Arms reach up, and exhale back down. One more time, clasp the hands behind the back. Arms can reach up as you inhale. As you exhale, let's just find a gentle twist. Over to the right, hips stay square. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, gentle twist. Over to the left. Inhale, lift. And exhale, forward fold. From here, we can come back to all fours. Heart reaches forward, sits bones lift up tall. Exhale, curl the spine up. And one more time, heart forward, sits bones lift up tall. And exhale, curl up. Neutral spine. From here, we'll swing the legs around. We'll come back onto our backs. Just like before, feet are going to start out hips width apart. Arms by your side. Let's inhale, lift the outsides of the hips evenly. Tailbones drawing towards the heels. Exhale, one vertebra at a time, lower them down. One more time, lifting up. This time, if you want, we have the option to further open up the chest by walking our shoulders underneath and clasping the hands, pressing those forearms into the floor. Tailbone still drawing towards the knees. The belly button drawing back does not mean we can't find that deep belly breath though. Two different systems within the same part of the body. The diaphragm and our abdominals working together. From here, unclasping the shoulders, roll back down. If that's your edge, you can hang out there. If you feel like we can go a little bit further, we're going to try a fish pose. So we're going to take our legs nice and long. Thighs stay together. From here, I'm going to take my hands and walk them so they're kind of in this upside down V shape around my sacrum. That kind of triangular bone of your low back. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Option is to go halfway here, option one, and to just tuck your forearms underneath your shoulders in line with your shoulders. You can hang out here. If we feel like going a little further, you're going to press your forearms into the floor and let your head hang over as the chest lifts. But there's no tension in the neck. The strength here is in my shoulders, arms, opening up the spine. One more breath here, and then coming down and releasing your hands. Find a couple circles of the knees one way and the other. Feet are going to plant down here as you come into kind of our peak spine pose. You have two options. Once you can keep just the hips lifting. If you feel like going forward, we're going to come into a wheel. So I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to bring them by my shoulders, but I want to hug those inner armpits and hug those inner arms towards one another. So my arms are doing a lot of the work of hugging in. From here, you have the option to lift those hips and the head and to come up. Maybe the head glances towards the ceiling, you get a little more length of the legs and release it back down. Maybe you don't. One or two breaths here. And then when you're ready, lowering on down, tucking the chin, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Hug the knees in. Couple circles with the knees one way and the other. If that's not your jam today, skip that pose always. Whenever you're feeling it. Again, arms come out. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, rock your knees over to your right side. Right hand comes to the outside of that thigh. Gaze turns to face that left palm. And then releasing that leg. Knees come through center and other way. Left hand can come to the outside of that right leg. Maybe gaze turns to face that right palm. And then releasing that leg, coming back to center. One more time, hug the knees in, tuck your chin, lift the shoulder blades off the floor. Maybe lift those sits bones in and squeeze the whole body. As you exhale, release. Legs are going to come out nice and long. Arms can come by your side. So we find our Shavasana, our final resting pose here. Not worried about anything we did or didn't do in class. Not worried about anything we have to do for the rest of the day. Just focusing in on that deep belly breath and release. Starting to feel some energy come back into your fingers and toes. You can start wiggling those fingers and toes. With your next inhale, you can bring your arms up overhead, resting on the floor behind you. And then bending your knees. You can rock over to one side and bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Allowing yourself to feel nice and tall in your seat. Hands to your knees, we can find maybe a few rounds of waves through the spine. If it would feel good to start moving in circles, that's another option. And reversing directions. Bringing your feet in front of you, hands are going to come behind your hips. We're going to inhale, lift the outsides of the hips, opening up the chest and shoulders, and then come on down. Find that seat once more as we take just one more deep breath in. Arms reach up overhead. As you exhale, give yourself a bow. You guys are done for the day. Good job, and I will see you next week.